What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Come on, Cowboy. First of all, just wanted to say thank you to all of our new subscribers. I was off of YouTube for probably a couple weeks, which I'll get into why here, but came back, awesome surprise, hundreds of new followers, subscribers, whatever YouTube calls them. So thank you to everyone new watching. And if you are new, first time to the channel, hit subscribe, hit like, comment what kind of dog you have, and yeah. So we have been super busy the past couple weeks developing a new product for Back 40 dogs. It's going to be freaking awesome. You guys got to check us out, back40dogs.com, number 40. That's all I'll say about it. It's gonna be great. I smell a skunk. That's why it's good to have an e-collar sometimes, which I will also be talking about in this video. E-collars, good and bad. So stay tuned till the end. Come on. Okay guys, so the point of this video is kind of two things. One, to kind of show you guys what Cowboy's like off leash on the trail. As you can see, this is about as far away as he gets from me. And then two, we're gonna be going over e-collar training, why I use it sometimes, not all the time, and the benefits that it could have for your dog. So, let's get into it. He's cruising. He got his hackles up. Smell a coyote or something. I pulled a few nice little bass out of here. Posted a YouTube short video on it last weekend.
Which stick, buddy? Leave it. Good boy.
Normally don't catch any fish when I bring Cowboy because he's just splashing in the water, but bass don't seem to mind. See those hackles? There's a fallen tree up here. And he is not sure what to think of it. What is that? Look at him. Yep, get over that. That just goes to show, like I was saying in one of my other videos, and like a lot of you have been commenting, how cautious this breed is. You know, like a lab would probably go running up to that, not think anything of it, pee on it, whatever. Like this guy, something new, different in the trail. We walk this trail all the time, so he knows like every bush. There's a freaking tree laying down in front of it and he gets all hackled up. So good insight into the breed right there. Cowboy was the single easiest dog to train recall we've ever had. And I don't, like, many other training areas were not easy, I'll say that, but his recall, he was never, like, the breed's nature is just not to be far from you. They want to stay near you. Come on, get out of there. So he was just really never more than 6 feet away from me. So I put a 6-foot leash on him and it's like he never used the whole thing. So we started off-leash stuff at a very young age. We went backpacking with him when he was 4 months old. I had to carry him for a lot of it, but the parts that I didn't, when we were fly fishing and stuff up in the Sierras, he was off-leash, 4 months old, didn't have much training to stay close. He was just like a little shadow stuck to me, which is funny because I'd look down sometimes and I think I lost him, you know, and he's like under my feet, tripping over him. So come on, buddy. Off-leash walks give your dog so much more freedom. And if you are against an e-collar, this video might change your mind. So, quick story. My girlfriend has a Brittany bird dog. They're very rangy, you know. Rangy meaning they're supposed to go out away from you and flush birds and stuff, and find birds. So, she didn't let him off the leash for the longest time because she was worried he was just gonna take off. He didn't let him off the leash on walks and stuff, which I totally understand. I didn't trust his recall either. But when she finally came around to the idea of using an e-collar, that doesn't mean toasting him, zapping him all the time. I mean, if you seek professional training and learn how to use it right, I helped her with the e-collar, and now her dog can go off leash, frolicking in the bushes and stuff. And when she calls him, he comes right back, and he has so much more fun. He's way more tired when he gets back because he's not pulling on the leash the whole time. And it's just a win-win for everyone. I will say, if you are considering an e-collar, make sure you really learn how to use it. If you don't learn how to use it, you will not have the effects you're going for. If anything, you will only harm your relationship with your dog. You won't give them the freedom you're trying to give them. So do it right. I really only, I didn't use an e-collar a ton when he was younger. I wouldn't really use it on a young dog under 1. And then I probably used it for 2 months between the ages of 1 and 2. And then after that, he's about 2.5 now. And I literally just put it on him for the first time like a week and a half ago. Maybe even just a week ago, because just some tune-up training. You know, he's still a young dog, and it's really for his safety more than anything. We live where, you know, there's rattlesnakes, horses, cars, all kinds of stuff. So while his recall is super solid, it comes into play in a couple areas. So one, if there was some type of danger up ahead, I like to practice down like all the time, just have him dropping right when you say it. And I think that's probably, besides recall, the most important thing you can teach your dog. And I'm gonna make a separate video on it. Come on, Cowboy. But having your dog be able to drop if they're running towards the street, running towards something dangerous, and they just stop on a dime is huge. Could save their life. So that's really a huge reason why I have the e-collar, just to kind of keep him in tune with that. We practice it. If he doesn't do it, I give him a little buzz. Not even a zap, just the buzz. It's like a vibrate. And I would never put something on him that I didn't test on myself to test on myself first. I always zap my arm before I put it on him. So I rarely even use the shock part of it. It's really if he's super hyped up on something, or if I really want to emphasize a point, but it's very rare. E-collar is just a super valuable tool if you do it right. Like anything, you could do it wrong and it won't have the right effects and, you know, mess it up. But if you do it right, you put the time into learning how to use it correctly, seek professional advice, it can really help you get a well-trained dog. Like I said, Cowboy doesn't totally need it, but it's kind of a safety insurance thing. And I'm trying to get him to the point where I can walk into Home Depot without a leash and have him on a perfect heel. And there's no way to practice that without a leash and like correct him if he does, you know, if he deviates from that, unless I have an e-collar on him. Which is another thing we can talk about, is correction training versus positive reinforcement. I think, sorry, I'm out of breath, we're hiking up a hill here, but I think correction training, like if you only raise your kid doing positive reinforcement, that kid is gonna be a brat. Like, they're probably gonna be awful. So teaching your dog no and correction training, I think, is huge. Part of being a invested dog owner, like we talk about with Back 40 Dogs on our website and our Pack News blog and stuff, is being a balanced dog trainer. And so that means combining positive reinforcement and correctional based training, because you can't do just one or the other. If you do just one, if you look like a tick on him, it was a fly. If you do just correctional training, your dog probably isn't gonna like you very much. They still might, they probably will, because dogs are very loving, but you know, they're But if you combine correctional and positive reinforcement, you're gonna have a much healthier relationship with your dog, much more obedient dog. You see these people that say their dog is trained so well from strictly positive reinforcement, and then, hey, leave it. Wait. Good. I always have him wait before we go around turns and stuff. Just part of being a good dog owner. Like if there was a horse or something around that turn that wasn't good with dogs, come on, leave it. You just want to have him close to you. Which is also probably part of the reason he stays close to me all the time is I kept him close as a puppy. I taught him his radius, that he could go away from me and when he should stop and look back. And when you do that enough times, they start to learn when to stop and look back. So we'll test him. Ah, good boy. Good boy. Yeah, but anyways, guys, sorry I got off on a tangent there, but if I see these people that do strictly positive reinforcement training, and you ask them, you know, whatever, dog might be off leash, so like, does your dog listen to you when you don't have a treat? And most of the time, if the dog only listens to them when it's the dog's idea. So that doesn't work. If your dog wants to chase a rabbit into the street and they don't want to come to you, it's their idea to chase the rabbit, not to come to you because you don't have a treat. Or even if you do have a treat, they want to chase the rabbit more. So in that case, the only thing that's going to stop them is a correctional based training, a buzz from an e-collar or something to snap them out of it and know that, hey, you need to listen to me just like they would their parent if they were a kid. Because otherwise, I mean, it's really dangerous for your dog. So it's kind of your responsibility to be a balanced dog trainer. Another reason I do put the e-collar on him sometimes, like I said, is just kind of tune-up training. Make sure he's, you know, still listening to all the things that I've taught him, because when he turned like a year old, before that, I was like, man, I got such a well-trained dog, like whatever, he's so great. And then turns a year old, all that stuff goes out the freaking window. Just a nightmare for like a solid 3 months, like at that adolescent age, like a teenager or whatever. But you just stay consistent with him really that whole year until he turned 2. You got to stay consistent with him, and now he's 2.5 and he's pretty good. So got a lot of people in the comments getting new cattle dogs, new puppies of any breed, and you're gonna experience that teenage age when they turn around 1. So just expect it, be ready for it, and you'll make it through. Come on, good boy. Cowboy, come. Good boy. Heel. Good boy. Okay. Okay, so we got a dog in this yard next to us. He's in a heel. It's a great example of bringing him back with the e-collar. Where'd this dog go? He was just running the fence. Cowboy started to go and run the fence with him, but you give him correction. Otherwise, you'd have no control over that situation. Hey, heel. There you go. Hey, come. Good boy. You'd have no control over that situation if you're hiking your dog off leash. You didn't have an e-collar on him, and he takes off. You know, you hope that you have a good recall, but when they get that fired up, sometimes they need something to snap them out of it. So, I mean, that's why I have the e-collar on him right now. But again, most of the time, you know, we've practiced this enough times that he's pretty good, but every now and then he gets that little bit of fired up like that, and it's good to have this. So that's just kind of why I've been having it on him the past couple weeks. Is it really helps for just making sure he doesn't forget our training, basically. I think it's your responsibility too, as a dog owner, to, if your dog's off leash, to have full control of that dog. Like, you see these people that let their dog off leash and then they just let them roam do whatever, run up to people, jump on people on the trail. The other day I was for a mountain bike ride, and this lady had 2 Australian Shepherds. They were off leash, which is fine, I don't care, I love dogs. I stopped because, you know, they were zigzagging and they kind of made me stop. I was like, all right, that's fine, whatever. Some people might not like that. I was like, oh, I'll stop and say hi to them. They jumped all over me. Their toenails were so long. I was bleeding on my arms and my leg because I was like still on my bike. I couldn't really like move too much. They freaking mauled me, not like aggressively, but all over me. And I just would have been freaking embarrassed if those were my dogs. I was like, even me as someone who is a freaking dog nerd, loves dogs so much, I was like, that's embarrassing. Like, that was pretty bad. I never want that to happen with my dog. And I doubt if you're watching this, you want that to happen with your dog either. So that's where it comes in to, you know, responsible dog training. I want my dog to be able to go off leash, but I also want to respect trails and stuff. So that's where an e-collar comes into play and good training comes into play. And training's a constant thing, you know? It's gonna be really his whole life. You just gotta stay on it. And hey, good morning. Okay guys, so kind of moral of the story is if you want your dog to be great off leash, here's what I recommend. 1, if it's a young dog, or really, I guess any age dog, start with a long line. I was listening to Stoney Davis, he's a YouTuber, dog trainer guy, and he said, you know, there's really few problems in the dog world, training world, that can't be fixed with a long line, and I'd have to agree. That's where we started with Cowboy, just a super long leash. Let him freaking drag it on walks if you want, and so you can step on it if you need to. Just have it always attached to him when they're a young dog, puppy, and as long as you're with them, obviously, supervising. You don't want anything strapped to them and they're left alone. But so start with a long line. As they get older and they learn that boundary with the long line, the e-collar is really just to reinforce what has already been taught. That's the way I look at an e-collar. So, and then when you do decide to purchase an e-collar, make sure you buy a good one. Don't buy a shitty one. It'll just harm the dog. So make sure you buy good gear, you know how to use it right, and I really think they can help your dog have more freedom on hikes, more freedom in general, and it can correct a lot of bad behaviors. It can correct if you're not, well again, back to long line. If you have a long line on them and they're jumping on people when you walk in the house, you can correct them with the long line or with an e-collar. So again, between those two things, I mean, you should be able to fix most problems, really. That, exercise, proper diet, you're gonna have a good dog. Good dog on your hands. All right, so if you liked the video, hit subscribe, hit like, comment what type of videos you would like to see, and catch you in the next one, guys.